You know what I love about the holiday season is that everybody kind of steps out of their comfort zone and tries color and glitter, and just everybody gets a little bit creative, whether it's with a funky holiday sweater or a brand new eyeshadow palette. Hey everybody, today I'm going to be doing a review on the Kevyn Aucoin ElectroPop palette. That took like a second to get in focus, but yes, it is the ElectroPop palette and I can't put it down. I'm constantly thinking of ways that I can wear this on my face. I've already tried it as blush, lips, highlight, contour. That didn't really work that well, and of course eyeshadow and liner. Now I am wearing the products here today and I will be sharing with you guys a quick tutorial so you can see how I did this look, but I do have some swatches for you guys. Here they are in a still. As you can see, they're very bright opaque colors. Now those swatches were done without water, without primer, without anything. That's just straight out of the palette. This palette is a bit unique in that all of these shades apply like a cream. So even though they are powders, they actually apply like a cream. Now you do have a lot of options here. You have 12 shades here and they range from the more everyday, brights, kind of neutral shades. Then you have this row here with the really hot colors of the moment, the copper, the red, and then if you come down to the bottom you have your classic fall jewel tone shades. And of course you have your one satin black. Another thing that I loved about this palette, and I noticed it the second that I opened it, was it says the name, Kevyn Aucoin, and then it says ElectroPop right inside. I don't know about you guys, but when I'm scrolling through Instagram, I want to be able to see what the palette is, because sometimes you scroll fast, you see an open palette, you're like, ooh, what is that? And you keep scrolling, you're like, oh, I wish I knew what it was. With this, it's like, no matter what, whether you're photographing it like this, or you're sharing swatches, you can see what it is. Like, even though I'm holding it right now, you can see what it is. So I like that. There is one satin black, and this is called Blackout. Now what makes this palette super unique is that you use the black shade to layer on pretty much any other shade, and you can create a highlighted smoky look, which is kind of like what I did today. Now I know sometimes pictures don't really do justice to a product, so I'm going to do some quick and dirty swatches with my finger so that you can actually see. I know that sounds dirty, but it's not as bad as it sounds. So now I'm going to show you guys exactly how some of my favorite shades in here apply. So these two shades right here, we have Light and Beam. These two shades are perfect for highlighting your cheekbones, the inner corner of your eye, layering over black like I did here for like kind of like a hollow eye. And by the way, these are super creamy. As you can see, very easy to get full opacity in one swipe. It's amazing, and they catch light perfectly. These two shades are perfect to apply to the upper part of your cheek, your inner corner of the eye, the brow bone, the center of the nose, and even the cupid's bow, or even the center of the lips. This is going to add a lot of lightness and brightness to the face. This top row of shades are perfect for when you want an everyday kind of no makeup look, or you just want something that's going to brighten up your face, make you not look so tired. This is the row you're going to want to go with. As for the second row, I kind of consider the second row the daring, kind of like Instagram looks. You have this shade here, which is called Switch. I love using this shade as a blush. I also have it on the inner corner of the eye because it kind of reflects blue. So it's a little bit more daring. So it's a little bit on the more daring end of the spectrum, but you can see that it has that nice shift. It's like a pink blue shift, which is super unique. So if you're applying it to your cheeks, you're gonna have in most lights a pink blush, but as soon as you get into a brighter light or sunlight, you're gonna have that soft blue kind of light, that soft blue kind of lavender reflection, which is gonna make it so unique. People are gonna be begging you to tell them like, what blush are you using? Oh, it's Kevyn Aucoin, it's the ElectroPop palette. Now, when you have these two shades here, they're very similar. These two shades are kind of like in the Marsala family, which was a super hot color a few years ago, and it's definitely made a return. So if you want to jump on some current trends, these two shades right here are perfect. And like I said, you can also wear them on the lips. I've done that today. It just amps it up just a tiny bit, adds that multi-dimension look to it, that almost 3D look to it. Now when we come to the bottom row, I love the teals. I love this teal. You know, that's the second time I've put my pinky in there. I was gonna edit it out, but that's the second time I did that. Now, when you swatch up these shades, you're gonna see they're super creamy and pigmented. These two teals, I think they could be applied together for a multi-dimensional kind of 3D look. You don't even need the black, you can just use those two together. Now the lighter shade is called Amp and the darker shade is called Impulse. Then we have Hardwire, and Hardwire, as you see on my finger, it looks like a regular indigo shade, but when you apply it, it's a little bit multi-dimensional, so you get a little bit of a shift, and even though it's dark, you can still apply it over blackout for a more like deepened dark purple or deepened dark indigo rather than a brighter indigo. I love applying the shade Hardwire right here with Switch, which is the pink shade that I swatched up for you guys on my hand that has a shift, because the two shifting together again creates a kind of 3D look. Now all of these shades are very opaque, as I mentioned, but I want to show you guys what you can do with black. Now black was the first shade that I swatched because I kind of judge a palette. If the black doesn't work, it's like, how are the other shades going to apply? Because black kind of is like the temperature gauge. Like if that one's good, the rest of the shades are usually good. So I'm going to take the indigo shade that I was mentioning, which is called Hardwire, and I'm just going to swatch it right over so you can see how like beautiful this becomes. As you can see, it's still very dark, it's still very much a smoky eye, but the reflection is what changes. It's how it captures the light that changes it. And all these shades, except for blackout obviously, capture the light beautifully. They're creamy, they're easy to blend, they don't crease, and the best part about it is there's minimal fallout. I'm not going to say there's no fallout because, you know, they are still shadows, so you are going to have a little bit of fallout, but if you're using a denser brush or you're using a moist brush, you don't really need it to. Like, if you're using a moist brush, you're using it to prevent fallout because you don't really need it to amplify up these shades, but you can use them moist. But really, dense brush, moist brush, you will have zero fallout, or using your fingers, zero fallout. I do not recommend a fluffier brush with these. I recommend that you pat the color on and then use a fluffier brush later to blend them out, which is how I did the smoky eye here. So let's take a quick look at my tutorial so we can see exactly how I applied everything. As you can see, I started out with my black base, I smoked it out, add some highlight, and then I used other Kevyn Aucoin products on my face. I did use some other products as well because I love to mix and match product, because I don't believe that you should isolate yourself to one brand. Like the ElectroPop palette goes so well with products that you may already have in your collection. Like say for example, you got a nude palette and you're like, how do I spice this up for fall? Or you just got another nude palette and you're like, this is just like all my other palettes. How do I use this? What can I do? If you start pairing it with your ElectroPop palette, I'm telling you, you're gonna get so much use pairing your more matte neutrals with your brighter tones. Now, if you are not used to, if you're not the type that's like go bold or go home, you're more like, you know, I'm gonna stay home, be quiet, I'm not gonna be bold, or you work in a more conservative environment, as I mentioned earlier on in the video, you can use these shades as just a small pop of color, maybe perhaps as the liner or underneath the lower lash line, in the inner corner of the eye, or even as a subtle crease tone. So you're gonna get a lot of use out of this, whether you're more of a traditionalist, classic, or you like to be fully creative and just drench yourself in it like I've done. Also, another way you can use these is on the brows if you really want to get creative, get those colorful holiday brows going on. So you have a ton of use, and if you are looking to amplify your holiday look, or you just want to try something new, the Kevyn Aucoin ElectroPop palette will complement anything that you already have, or just get creative. The ElectroPop palette from Kevyn Aucoin is something you definitely should check out. Based on quality alone and the fact that the shades were so creamy and they performed so well and they have that multi-dimension finish and the layering ability, based on that alone, I say pick it up, be creative with it, and of course if you see it in store, play with it. Because once you play with this, you will be hooked. Like I could tell you all about it, but unless you're like really in it and touching it, like I feel like once you touch it, you're going to be convinced. Once you start swatching it on yourself, you're going to be like, wow. So if anything, order it, play with it. If you don't love it, then return it. But I don't think you'll return it because it's that good. Now this is available exclusively on Sephora.com. I'm going to have all the information in the info section below. So if you want to shop for it, there'll be a link for you. You can just click, and boom, you have it. Let me know what you thought about it in the comment section below. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Be honest with me. Let me know what you thought about it. If you haven't or you're not already, be sure to follow me on Instagram at Recycled Stardust so you can see the looks that I'm creating with this, or just my general swatches. If you just want to read more about what I think about the palette, you can head over there. I have a ton of other reviews as well. So be sure to check that out. I really hope you guys enjoyed the quick tutorial and the swatches. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching.